Yeah.
So he moved on extremely fast. So one day I'm sitting there, I forgot about him, maybe 2 months went by, and my friend messages me, and she's like, oh, I see Dominic at this family gathering, and he's with a girl. And I was like, it is what it is. I don't care, whatever. Some few months pass by, and another girl sends me a YouTube link. And she's like, watch this. And then I hear the young lady. She's like, hi, I just want to thank my fiance for helping me. And I'm like, and she's like, my fiance, Dominic. And I was like, yeah, just
He
like that.
was?
He was. So I thought that was
Did you
it.
feel bad?
Oh, I did. I did. And you know, one thing
Bad or jealous? Both. Mixed.
mixed
Together.
I was like, how dare he,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, and he's fine. So I was like, damn, I hope I don't
I
get
missed
like,
on a good. Was I proud? Were you thinking maybe
Yeah.
maybe I was too proud?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have picked up.
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
did I block him?
Why did I block him? Why did I block him?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, you know, I was upset. But I remember in that moment, I was sitting on my bed, and I called my roommate in. And she's like, oh, my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know how I feel right now. So she goes and she grabs me a tub of ice cream. And she's like, sit, let's eat it. But immediately, the Holy Spirit tells me, no, you cannot go into a pit over a man. And that's why I always tell people that we have the ability to stop the enemy in his tracks.
Wow.
Because if I would have went down that roller coaster, so I always tell people I don't know what it feels like to be heartbroken because I've never gotten there. I took myself out immediately. I said, well, this is God's will, and I removed myself.
And if you took that direction, you would definitely have been heartbroken, you know.
Crying.
But you refused.
I refused it. Within 2 minutes, I will never forget, she brought me a Breyers ice cream, a big thing, and she said, here, let's sit and eat it. And I looked at her and I was like, no, this is not what God has called me for. No. And that's why I say I'm very strong-willed.
Yeah.
If I'm determined, I'm very like, no, God is not for me.
It's not in this, so I'm not doing it.
No.
So you didn't.
I didn't. But that always reminds me that you have the ability to go up or down.
You have the
choose
power.
joy.
You have the power.
You choose.
You have the power to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you chose, I'm not going down that direction.
Yeah.
And you, okay.
So
fast forward, what became of that relationship?
So fast forward, my dad dies May 2013. I hadn't spoken to him for about 2 years, maybe even 3 years. 2013, my dad dies. As they're wrapping him up, I begin to say in my spirit, I need a hug from Dominic. Like, I couldn't cry because I felt like I have to take care of my siblings, and my mom was there. It was just everyone else was crying, and I'm trying to be the watchdog. But in my spirit, I'm like, I just need a hug from Dominic. Then I rebuked myself, and I'm like, that's a married man. Like, I started rebuking myself in the hospital room. Like, I rebuke this. I rebuke this. Not knowing that was around the time that things got a little shaky between him and the girl. So fast forward, my dad dies May. December of 2013, I'm praying on the floor, literally crying out to God, like, there has to be more to this life than just school, work, school. Like, I need more out of this. So I'm crying on the floor, crying out. And he says, pray for Dominic. So I'm like, no. So I start saying, the Holy Spirit says, pray for Dominic. I'm like, no. I literally got up out of my tears, and I was like, no, I'm not praying for him. So for about 10 minutes, I was literally talking to myself like, no, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to pray for this guy. So then I call my friend. The beauty of having anointed friends.
Come on. Come on.
She now tells me, listen to the Lord. He's not telling you to pray for him to be your husband.
Yeah.
But he's saying pray. So obey the Lord.
Right.
Because he's probably doing it for you, and this is a test of your obedience. So when I looked at it from that standpoint, I was like, okay, I'm just being obedient. So I started writing stuff down. I still have the notebook. He said, pray for Dominic's head. Pray for his blood. Pray for his mind. Pray for his job. Pray for his body. So I would just, as I'm led, I would just pray, 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 pray. Not knowing that while I was praying, and I had not heard from him in years, he was also in Ghana, and he was on a mountain, and he was praying and crying out to God concerning the relationship he was in.
Whoa.
Yes. So he went with the girl, and a series of things happened, and it was confirmation that, you know, she was not the one. So she left the mountain earlier than him, and she came back to America. Before he left, he stayed a couple more days, and before he left, he had 2 prophetic words, that the Lord is bringing his wife, the angel of the Lord is bringing his wife. And then when he got to the airport, someone else told him that the person you're with, when you go, she'll leave. When she leaves, don't try to go back, because he's a very loyal person, and he would have worked it out. He would have tried his best, but that wasn't God's will. And that's how the enemy got him, with like a demonic compassion, because that's how he is. He's very, you know, caring and loving.
Right.
And so if you're not careful, he'll stick with the bad situation, you know. And so the Lord had to warn him in Ghana at an airport.